If you are looking for the perfect national park to visit during the month of June, then I've got you because I have so many favorite parks to visit during this month, and today I want to walk you through some of my favorites. My name is Ash. I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes, and June is the month. That's when the summer begins in a lot of these parks. It's the perfect time to be traveling to the national parks, and there are some really fantastic options for you. So I'm going to share 5 of my favorites today, but just know there are 34 national parks on my list of favorite parks to visit in June. So we're barely going to scratch the surface. But these are the ones that I wanted to bring out and share with you so that you can put them on your radar and hopefully plan an upcoming national park trip. You'll definitely want to sign up for my National Parks by the Month list at dirtinmyshoes.com/month, and I'll link that below this video as well, because it has every month of the year and all the parks that I recommend visiting. So go grab this list. As I mentioned, there are 34 listed for the month of June, and so you'll want to check all of these out. Okay, so June is a great month to be in the national parks, but you do need to be a little bit choosy, especially if you're planning on going to the mountains, because there are still mountain parks that are totally covered in snow during the month of June that I don't recommend. And so you will want to pay attention to the elevation and how much snow that park gets and whether or not the roads are open. And so that's why you'll just need to be a little bit choosy there. But I have a couple on my list today that I want to talk about that are great mountain parks to visit during the month of June. But first, let's jump into a couple parks that you may not even have on your radar at all. So park number 1 that you'll often find me in the month of June is Channel Islands National Park. Channel Islands National Park is in California. It's a beautiful beachside national park. So what you'll do is you'll actually take a ferry from, usually from Ventura, and you'll go over to the Channel Islands, which are just off the coast. There are a few different islands that you can visit, and so you'll want to pick and choose. Typically, you'll do 1 island per day for however many days you have and however many islands you want to see. But these islands are absolutely stunning. They have hiking trails. You can go sea kayaking. You'll see wildlife as you're going on the boat to the islands a lot of the times. And June is just a really nice time to be out on the water, to be out on the ocean, and to be exploring Channel Islands National Park. Park number 2 that I recommend in June is Mesa Verde National Park. This one is in Colorado, and it's an active archaeological site for the ancestral Puebloan people who once lived in this area. So what you'll find here are just beautiful cliff dwellings that have been very well preserved. Several of them you can take ranger tours through. I really like the balcony house one. That's my favorite. But you can explore Mesa Verde with a park ranger and learn more about these ancient peoples. What's really cool about visiting in June and why I like to be there during that month is that all the ranger tours are typically running in June. And that's really important because you want to be able to go on a ranger tour while you're here. That's how you get the closest to those cliff dwellings. And the other thing is this area can be quite harsh during the summer, and so it's nice to go in June before it starts getting too hot. Okay, so let's jump into some of those mountain parks that I mentioned that are really great for visiting during the month of June. Number 3 on my list is Great Smoky Mountains National Park. That one is in both Tennessee and North Carolina, right there on that border. And Great Smoky Mountains National Park is full of beautiful old growth forests. It's in the Appalachian Mountains, and so you definitely are in the mountains here. There's lots of good hiking trails. There is tons to do in this area, just surrounding the park as well. So it's the perfect destination for a family vacation. Now, not only do I enjoy the weather in the Great Smoky Mountains during the month of June, more so, if you can avoid the middle of the summer heat and humidity, that's really great. In June, there's a couple of cool things that you can do as well. Particularly, that is when the fireflies, the synchronous fireflies, are out for a very short amount of time in June. If you can get a reservation, you can go see these synchronous fireflies, which we actually just did this past June, and it was absolutely unforgettable. One of the coolest experiences I have ever had in a national park. So these tickets are really hard to get, but if you can get one, know that that typically happens at the beginning of June, and it is phenomenal. The other thing that's really nice about visiting Great Smoky Mountains during the summer, but I like June, is that you can also go tubing on the river, which is a really fun activity to add in. And that's just right outside of Cades Cove, that area in Townsend, Tennessee. And there's a really fun tubing route that you can do that our family just greatly enjoys. Okay, park number 4, we're going to even bigger mountains, and that is to Yosemite National Park in California. So Yosemite, it has giant mountains and it does get a fair amount of snow. But why I favor this one in June over other months of the summer is because if you're wanting to see those giant waterfalls in Yosemite, which trust me, you do, it makes it so amazing when you're there in the park to be able to see those waterfalls. They are typically at peak flow around kind of the end of May, beginning of June, but well into June, you'll still just have a lot of water in those falls. And so for me, I'm willing to risk having maybe some of the higher elevation areas still having some snow, like the Tioga Road or Tuolumne Meadows. Sometimes there will still be some lingering snow up there, but it's worth it because those waterfalls actually start to dry up as you get into July, and especially by August. And I like to be in Yosemite when those waterfalls are flowing. And number 5, the parks that I like to be in are Sequoia and Kings Canyon. This is like a partnership park, so they're both just right next to each other. Sequoia Kings is a great one to add on if you're already going to Yosemite. In fact, I will be in all 3 of these national parks this year in June, so I'm not just saying this is when I'm going as well. But Sequoia Kings has all of those just giant, beautiful, majestic sequoia trees. There's some great hiking trails here. Typically, you can get on the trails in June. On a normal year, you should be okay. And if you go in June, it's a little bit less crowded. You can find solitude a little bit easier. Some things are still starting to get opened up. And so you may have limited options as far as like campgrounds and stuff like that. Sometimes those take a little longer to open up for the season. But you can still get in there. You can still do a lot. There are still places to stay. And it's just a really good national park area to visit during the month of June. Okay, I love that list because, like I said, June is one of my favorite times to be in the national parks, and those national parks will be so much fun for you at that time of year. So if you need any help planning your trip to any of these national parks, go to dirtinmyshoes.com. I have guides for all of them. If you're interested in going to these parks, I can help you plan the perfect trip. And don't forget to sign up for your free national parks list by month so you can see other options that you can choose from for the month of June and all the other months of the year. That list is linked in the video description below, so go check that out. And I hope that you're able to get some dirt in your shoes in the national parks this year.